This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Avenir travel trailer. And the model number is 32BH, okay? And I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So we have regular crank down stabilizers, as you can see. We also have a quick connect port for the LP system if you want to add a griddle or a grill or whatever. So you have to get the quick connect hose, obviously, and you also have to make sure you get an appliance, a gas appliance that's low pressure and designed for a travel trailer. You have a power awning with LED strip. You have TV signal out with some power. Of course, that's your vent for your furnace. And here we have a refrigerator, like so. This would be the fill for the fresh water tank. Now, the most common way to get water to the trailer is the city water hookup. You just hook the city water up, turn it on, and you're all set. All your plumbing works. If you're camping someplace without city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, and then you can use the onboard water pump to pump the water. All your plumbing will work as though it normally does with the city water hookup. It'll just be pumping from your fresh water tank. So you have that. Okay, and the drain for it is directly below, I believe, yes. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna call this the black tank flush here. After you dump your black tank, you can hook the freshwater hose up, excuse me, up to this port, and leave your black tank valve open. Turn on the water, and it'll flush out your black tank for you. Clean off the sensors, just give you a good reading. Okay. So you can see we're using a shop cord right now. Your 50 amp power cord is right there. It's a 50 amp system. Of course, you have your dump hose kit and an adapter. Kill switch. Let me look up here real quick. Yeah, your kill switch here. This is a switch for your awning, your power awning. Never leave the power awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in so it doesn't get damaged by the weather. This is a pre-wire, just a pre-wire hookup for a tire monitor you can purchase, and it just snaps right on there, so keep that in mind. It's just pre-wire. This is your solar controller, okay? Basically, it's telling us right now that there's 13, I know you can't see it, probably can't see it through the camera here, but it's telling us there's 13.6 volts DC in the system. We're gaining, that's Celsius there. Let me go a little further. See what we got. We're gaining 1.3 amps right now from the sun and storing them in the battery. You can see up there, if you can see it, when you look at it, there's a picture of the sun, then a solar panel, then the battery. So it's going from the sun to the solar panel to the battery. So we're gaining 1.3 amps right now. It's early in the day. The sun's low. We're behind the building where there's a shadow cast. So normally as the day goes on, the amount of amperage gained will be much greater. So that's how you tell that. There's also, if you look at the booklet, there's more features to that. You can learn as much as you want, but the main two functions are the DC voltage in the system and the amp gain from the solar panels that's being stored in your battery, okay? Okay, so you have two LP tanks, full, automatic, oh wait, let me back up. Power tongue jack, okay? And this power tongue jack, if it ever fails, you can pull this plug out and you can crank it manually to get yourself out of trouble. You also have a deep cycle marine battery here, okay? Let me go a little further. Okay, I'll look into the the crank may be in the trailer maybe under the bed or something, but I'll keep my eyes open. You need a 3/4 inch crank for this also, which I don't see, but I'm sure it's around. I'll keep my eyes open. Your dump valves, of course, gray and black. Gray is sink and shower water, black is toilet water and waste. The black one is, these are colored, right? But the black ones is generally speaking is the largest valve will be the black tank valve. So even if the handles are the same color, you can identify it by the size of it. There's a second gray tank there, or is it a? We'll have to look here. That stickers. Strange they have two dump valve stickers on there, but or I mean two, not dump valve. I'm sorry, two black tank flush stickers, but I would say that's a gray tank right there. I'll know for sure when you pick up. Okay, I'm sorry about that. You have an on-demand water heater, so it gives you non-stop water. This is the master switch here. You can shut the system off by clicking the 0 part, but complete the circuit there and it's on. So I'll show you how it functions when we get inside. There's a control panel. So what this is going to have, there's only one toilet, so there's only one gray tank or black tank. So you're going to have a second, you'll have 2 gray tanks and 1 black tank. So why they used the larger valve, I don't know, but they did. This is just our shop cord. This is where your 50 amp power cord plugs into. Campground cable through. Sprayer port right here for a coiled sprayer. And this is the city water hookup we talked about, the most common way to get water to the trailer. So on the other side you have the fill for the freshwater tank. If you don't have city water, you also have the black tank flush hookup on the other side. And right here is, like I said, the most common way to get water to the trailer, the city water hookup. Okay? You look up, you see there's a housing there. This means it's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit. So if you're interested, we sell them here. You can also get them elsewhere. If you get one, make sure you get the one that fits that housing that's designed for this trailer. So that's always an option. And while we're looking up, the manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So you want someone to go up there and take a look. Be very careful, of course. Make sure there's no damage to the roofing material or the roofing attachments caused by, you know, the most common thing would be low branches, road debris flying up there. You also look at the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation where water could get through. Odds are you won't have to do anything for years and years, but you still inspect it every 90 days just to make sure, so you can stay ahead of any potential problems. You can't see what's happening up there unless you look. Okay, so let's go inside. Oh boy. Of course I'm locked out here. Hey Kevin! Well, I'm not going to stop the video right now and start over again, so I'm going to have to walk to my toolbox here. You get to look around. Hold on, I'm doing a video. Boy, I tell you. Talk about being prepared, huh? Okay. So I'll use my pass key. I have a pass key. It only works. There are 2 locks on your latch. The top one is just a service lock. This key will fit all the service locks on these trailers. The second one, the lower one, is the deadbolt. Your key will only open that deadbolt. So for security, you lock the deadbolt here. But just when you're dropping off for service or anything, you just lock the top, so we can get in it when we need to. Okay. All right. So let's go. Excuse me. Let's go inside now. The first thing we see in here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. That should always be glowing green. If it's not, get it serviced immediately. It's not expensive. Just don't put it off. It's too important. This is your lights, your master light here with a dimmer. Okay. Okay, so your slide room is right here. This is for your awning. I showed you there's also another switch for the awning outside, but you have one here, and then your slide out there. Your water pump is right there. It's turned on right now. The water pump's used to pump water out of the fresh water tank, like we just talked about. It's also used to winterize the trailer. And then you have your levels here: battery, charged, only one black tank and a gray tank. Okay. So next to it is your controller for your on-demand hot water. So we just push this to light it up. Let me see if I can get it to light up here. The sun is shining right there, so I can't see it very well. There we go. Okay. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's flashing 120 right now. 120 is what it's set at. You can set the temperature, raise and lower it right here, obviously. 120 is pretty typical. I think they might just default to 120. This button here changes it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and that's the on and off. Really, once it's on, and you have a water source. Now this will not, if you don't have a water source available, either the city water's hooked up with the water turned on, or you have water in your fresh water tank with the water pump turned on. If you don't have one of those two conditions, it will not light the burner. So keep that in mind. It's a safety device, obviously, so it doesn't damage by running without water in it. So, okay. Let's see what we got here. Wish I could get you a better picture, but you can see, maybe you can see, that it's spinning. It looks like a fan spinning, and the flame is trying to light right there. Just because I turned the hot water on. And now the temperature is going up 100, 102, 106. So it's headed towards 120, and getting hot. So now with this turned on, every time you turn on the hot water, whether it's in the bathroom or the sink, whatever, the kitchen sink, it'll automatically ignite the on-demand water heater and give you non-stop flow of water, of hot water. So that's great when it comes to the shower. You know, the other tanks, well, almost all of them were just 6 gallons, which was, you can't take a shower with 6 gallons, obviously. You can't take 2 showers for sure. But this gives you a non-stop, so it's a good thing. Excuse me. The keys will be hanging right here when we bring them out. Microwave works like any other microwave. Your range hood is here. Fan and light. I don't know if he's got the gas turned on, but we'll see. So, on and off. So the first thing you do is turn it on just by doing that. Then you're just gonna do this. Hold it for a few seconds, and you got burner going. Same thing with the oven and the other 3 burners. It's very simple, and when you're done, you can just shut it off like that. Okay. Always travel with this in the down position. You don't want to damage the glass. Obviously, never put it down when the burners are really hot. Right. This is your refrigerator, which is 12 volt DC. It runs on 12 volt DC. So, strictly DC power. This device down here is your power converter. This device converts AC to DC power. So you have a regular 120 AC circuit breakers like you'd see at home right here, and they're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here, so you got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. It's also a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll sense how much energy your battery up on the tongue has, and it'll send as many amps necessary to keep it charged. So when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle will charge the battery. When you're plugged into shore power, your power converter will charge the battery, and your solar panel charges it as it can depending on the conditions outside. So it's always charging the battery when it can, as much as it can. Okay. So this is really the distribution panel for your AC, distribution panel for your DC, an AC to DC converter, and the battery charger all rolled into one. And that's called the power converter. Okay. Now this table, you can drop it down onto these cleats here. Turn it into a small bed. This jackknife's here, so you can jackknife this section flat and turn it into another small bed. Okay. You have your bunk room here, which has actually 4 bunks. This is that folds down, obviously. That jackknife's flat, and then you have this bunk and then this bunk. Okay. This is opened up just so you can see. That's the back. This is the back of the on-demand water heater, and you can see there are valves on the back to bypass it, just so you know that those valves are there. Right now it's in summer mode. You don't have to worry about anything, but keep in mind those are bypass valves there. Okay. Alrighty. This is an escape window, emergency window. Works like they all do. You push it through. Push it all the way through, then you grab this tab and pull the screen out. You can escape during an emergency. Okay, more TV hookup. Last but not least, or close to last but not least, you have your TV hookup. Now this, you see I just turned that on so it's glowing green. That's the way you want it when you're using the antenna. That turns on your digital antenna. Keep that in mind. You have a little Bluetooth speaker here that is velcroed on so it pulls right off. You can pull it loose. Also your fireplace is also a space heater. So you can change the flame. You can like I said, it's also a space heater, so it has a fan in it, and it'll on those days where it's not quite cool enough to run your furnace, you can save your limited supply of LP, and you can just run your fireplace while you're sitting here. So it's really a good thing. And there's a remote for it also. Okay. Alrighty. So, sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. You always want to travel with this latch shut. I don't know if I can do it with one hand here. I guess I can. Whoops, I'm sorry. Sorry about my crazy camera work. You always want to latch like that, otherwise they'll slam together when you're going down the road and they can crack. So, always travel with this shut. This is a GFCI. All the plugs in this trailer are wired through a GFCI. Even the one on the outside. So if you're using something the receptacle goes dead, always think GFCI first. Go and check them and reset if necessary, because like I said, every one of them, even if it's a regular plug, is wired through the GFCI. The toilet is typical in that it has a flush pedal right here. You want to put a dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water in there before you use it. So you're pulled up to the campground, your black tank has been dumped when you left the last campground. So you pull in, you hook up your power and your water, you come in here, you're going to put a dose of chemical, and then you're going to step on the pedal and hold it down to put at least a gallon in there. Most people use more than a gallon, don't use less than a gallon. But most people use more, so, air towards, go more towards 2 gallons. But always do that. If you don't, that's considered running it dry, and if you run it dry, it'll get clogged up, it'll smell bad, it'll just be a mess. So anytime you're starting off with an empty black tank, you want to put chemical and at least a gallon of water in the tank. Okay? Here we go. Let's see here. Oh, let me get a better grip on this. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, that's your freshwater quick connect hose for that port I showed you. There's the 3/4 inch jack, or not jack, I'm sorry, crank. And then there's a small crank for your power tongue jack that I told you could crank manually if it failed. So you got 2 cranks and a quick connect coiled sprayer hose. Okay, another escape window. TV hookups here, of course. Always travel, if you got sliding doors, you always want them latched so they don't slide around when you're traveling. Okay, I think that about covers it here. So let me look around a bit, make sure I got it all, which I think I do. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's important. You're just protecting yourself, your investment. This is pre-wired for a backup camera, so you always have that option. And right now there's water in the system. All the antifreeze has been purged out, and so you're set for the summer. Okay? Thank you very much.